Hi, I'm Toolman Tom, and in this segment I'll be showing you how easy it is to blow out your sprinklers and put a few bucks in your pocket. It won't take more than 15 to 20 minutes of your time. Alright, today we're going to winterize my sprinkling system. First thing you're going to need is an air compressor. It can hold a minimum of 120 pounds of pressure. And you're going to need air compressor hose, 3/8 in diameter. You're going to need a male adapter and a female adapter. This is your female adapter. It goes on the 3/8 diameter hose, air hose. This here is what you're going to need. This is a male fitting, 3/8 male fitting. Okay, this is my already attached to my hose. Is what I'm using today is a female fitting, and this what will connect to my air compressor. I will fit it right in here, and she'll fit right in there, nice and tight. Say action.
Action.
All right, here we are. I got to plug in my my compressor, and the only way I can plug it in is the electrical outlet on my front porch. My compressor is run by electricity, so I'm plugging it in. I'm going to build it up to 120 pounds of pressure. Okay, while my compressor is building air, I'm taking my 3/8 adapter air nozzle. I'm gonna now take this little part, and I'm gonna screw it into our valve. This is the female. Get a wrench. Not real tight. You don't want to strip it or you don't want to break it. And the next thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to close the bottom valve. This goes to the basement. Now, I'm going to shut the top valve. I'm going to plug it in. Okay, she's plugged in. Now we have to head towards the controller and start turning on the zones one by one manually. Now this is my controller. It's in the basement. And I have 5 zones. And we're going to do zone 1 first. And as you do that, what you do is you turn it on. On auto. And I'll push manual. And we'll do zone 1. Did you catch that? That is zone 1. She's ready to go. Now we got to go back outside. Okay, my compressor is shutting off. That means I got 120 pounds of pressure in my compressor. Between 100 and 120 pounds of air pressure in my compressor. And now I'm ready to open up the valve. Here is the valve. I open up the top valve. And then we have another little valve right here we have to open to release the air. Alright, as the air comes through, the air pressure pushes the water out onto the nozzle. Just for about a couple minutes, that's all you need to do. When you see no more water coming out of the air line, you know that your lines are free of water and you're good to go to zone 2.
hold on. Okay.
For us to do zone 2, we have to close this little valve with my little flathead screwdriver. And just close it till no more air is going through. And then we proceed back downstairs to zone 2. Let's go. There's my compressor, building up pressure again for the next zone. Here we are back at the controller. It's in my basement. And we're going to now push manually. The 2, station 2. Here we are back at the valve. We're about to open up this little valve right here with my flat screwdriver. We just did zone 1, now we're doing zone 2. Real slowly, open it very slowly. Yes, it's manually turning on the sprinklers. If I didn't have air going through it, water would be going through it. But through I have the water off, I'm blowing them out now with air. Now I go back. A little flathead screwdriver, and I close this little valve right here. And then we go back and proceed to zone 3. I'll have to go back in my basement, manually set to zone 3. Now if you don't know how to do that, go to your owner's manual, and it will take you step by step how to do that.
Okay.
Say action.
Action.
Alright, here we are. I'm in my basement where the water valve is to my sprinkling system is. I come down here and I shut it off to make sure no more water through the winter time will come through my lines. So here I am shutting it off. And then I have another valve here that is taking all the excess water from the valve to the outside valve outside. And as all the water is draining, as you can see, this will get half full. But that's what we want. We want all that water to come out of the lines so it doesn't freeze outside. Now we must go outside and do something else. Now I come back to my main controller in the basement and I turn it on off. And then I'll come and unplug it for the winter time.
All right.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, here we are. We're back at the valve, the main valve. I'm going to open up all the valves again. I know no water will come out because I shut the main valve down in the basement, so I know there's no more water. Open up the bottom valve. Because if there's any water in the system, we want it to drain in that bucket in the basement. We can get all the water out. Take my little flat screwdriver, open up these valves, open up these valves, so we get all the air out. And the next step is, we got this very important valve right here. It's a plastic valve. We don't want to leave this in for the winter time because they have a tendency to crack with the extreme cold. So you just hand tighten it in the beginning when I turned on the system. So it should come up very easy, because they can break very simply. So you try to be able to first take it off before you use the pliers or anything. Your best bet is just to take it off by hand if you can. And it screws right off. As you can see, it's very important that you take these off for the winter time and put them away somewhere. This is the complete setup. the valve. It's about a $50 to $75 part. That's why it's very important you take it off and store it for the winter time and replace it in the beginning of the spring season. Now there's only one more thing I have to do, is put a little paper, an old rag inside this valve, a little bit of plastic so no water can get in for the winter time, and then you're set to go. You're done. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that I pull off that valve I showed you earlier, now I get some saran wrap. I took an old rag, and put it inside that cavity. And I took some saran wrap. So I want to make sure no water gets in there for the winter time. And that's basically all you got to do. See how easy that was? It didn't take us but 15-20 minutes, and here we are, we're done.